Hey golf fans, it's Matt with the Nintendo team with a video review of Tiger Woods PGA Tour '09 All Play. This is a version of the game that you should be getting, the Wii build definitely, not the other versions, and I'm going to tell you why. Not that it's really any big secret, the Wii version has all the features of the other iterations, however, in addition to that, it's also got the added Wii Remote Control, which I think makes all the difference. I'm going to get to all of that, but first let's talk about the basics. All Play is an incredibly deep game packed with gameplay modes. Obviously, the meat and potatoes of the single-player component is the My Career option, and in that, tournament play. This is where you're going to create your own character and start from the bottom, work your way through the ranks, and eventually face off with some of the golf greats. There are dozens of matches within tournament, and they start off hard and get harder. You know, this isn't a game where you're going to be able to play like an idiot and win. You're going to have to par, birdie, eagle, or better through each hole in order to advance and gain some money and sponsorships. The created character feature is more robust than it's ever been. I really like it. You can modify every facet of your character, from clothes to cheek structure to hair to skin tone to every minuscule detail. The only problem I've found is that in regard to eyes, you start out kind of looking like Tiger Woods, and no matter what you do, you can never really change that, which is a bit disappointing. New to this year's game is the Club Tuner, which allows you to finely tune your clubs to match your swing. So if you have a bad habit of always adding draw to your shots, you can go in there and counter-correct with a lot of fade, put that on there, and your shot's going to even out in the end. It's an excellent addition to the franchise, but unfortunately in this year's game I find it largely unnecessary because the standard swing, the swing mind you that I think you're going to want to use, doesn't really consider fade and draw that much. The potential in place for next year's game, though, I think is just ridiculous, because when you do finally have Wii Motion Plus and it is measuring all of your movement subtleties, it's going to be just amazing to be able to correct everything on the fly like that. Obviously, the big draw to this year's game is the control, so let's get into that. You've got 3 control schemes this year, the first of which is All Play, named in the title, which is designed specifically for beginners. All Play completely ignores draw and fade and shows you all the trajectories of your shots, including those when you're putting. Obviously, this makes the game a whole lot easier, and it's recommended for your parents, your younger sister, grandpa, but probably not for anybody else. Next up is the standard control setting, which actually does very loosely measure draw and fade. However, you're going to have to swing very hard to the left or right to see that reflected on screen. The standard setting also gets rid of those pesky trajectory previews and also only allows 1 putt preview per round. To reliably add draw and fade, you simply zoom forward and grab with your Wii Remote draw and fade icons, pull them to the left or right respectively. Simple, but it works great. And then there's the advanced setting, which I think in next year's game has a lot of promise, but in this year's version doesn't quite live up to its potential. Here you won't be getting any trajectory previews of any kind, no putt preview, it's entirely up to you to make those shots. Which, by the way, I love. The problem is that the advanced mode relies entirely on accelerometer-based draw and fade, and that just doesn't work. Half the time, the game won't correctly read your movements, and the other half, you'll be in a position so uncomfortable that you just won't want to play that way. The good news, though, is that the standard control scheme works very, very well on all fronts. And when you pull the Wii Remote back and see that near 1-to-1 control swing ratio, you're just not going to want to go back to a standard control stick ever again. It's entirely because the control scheme works so well that I can recommend this year's Woods on Wii over all the other versions, despite any graphical benefits you may find on PS3 or 360. Had Woods shipped for Wii this year just with the improved controls and the meaty tournament package, I could have easily recommended it to anybody. But the truth is, there's a whole lot more to consider. First of all, there are 5 new courses, some of which you're seeing right now, based out of Florida, England, China, Africa. Pretty much you name it, you got it. I also believe these courses look a little better than they normally might have because Tiburon had to design them from the ground up, as opposed to reusing old assets passed from the PS2 to GameCube to Wii. You can also go into game modes and select from 20 or so different gameplay types, all variations on the regular game of golf. So as you can see here, I'm playing a game of ring golf, in which I'm just trying to hit the ball through the rings. These are all welcomed additions that do extend replay value. Then there's the Wii exclusive Golf Party mode, which houses about 15 different events, all of them crazy minigames that are fairly enjoyable on some level, although admittedly also pretty shallow. You've got the Tiger-esque golf ball juggling using your club. You can use golf carts to pick up golf balls, as you're seeing here. And my personal favorite is Ball Battle, in which after the ball is hit, time slows, music cues, and you and a friend battle to either drag the ball toward the pin or away from it, depending on who hit it. These are all great additions that I think, combined with the control scheme, really give Wii its own personality and separate it from the other builds. Yet having said that, I would throw them all away without a second's hesitation for the game's greatest new feature, the online mode. That's right, Tiger arrives on Wii now with a 4-player simultaneous play online mode, and I have to say, it is absolutely spectacular. You can see the connection process is really easy, and watch for a minute as I mess around and just look at lobbies and receive messages from friends who want to play. You can choose to play in ranked or unranked matches, or you can go to the lobby, look for social games, casual games, or really competitive matches, where obviously you're going to find different types of players. As you can see here, I finally relented and I'm joining a match with another player. So let's see how it looks online. It's pretty flawless. It runs very well, there are no hiccups in frame rate, it just works. And because you all play at the same time, there's no waiting. You just go at your own pace, and as you'll see in the background here in the foreground, there are golf ball streams indicating exactly where the shots of the other players have landed. Simply put, this is one of the best online experiences that you're going to find on Wii, and if you're at all into Tiger Woods or golf games, you absolutely have to try it. And that is this year's game. It is one of the best golf games I've ever played. It's packed full of features, it's got great Wii controls, and the visuals look better. For our full written review, check out IGN.com.